Hi everyone, welcome to episode 91 of the Unleash and Thrive podcast. I'm so excited to be with you as always. But guess what? I have a guest in the house today. I have Coach Sonia in the house. I'm so excited. You're welcome, 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 welcome. And I'm going to get her to introduce herself in a minute. But guess what? Today I'm excited because the topic we're talking about burnout and how to avoid it. And what else, like how would I put, let me say, why would we not be talking about this topic? It's a topic that has been on my mind for a little bit, I think for a while. But I just think we're talking about it just before we started, that for women, sometimes we do a lot. And then she was like, no, sometimes we do too much. So, Coach Sonia, I want to welcome you. I want to welcome you to the podcast. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me read your bio and then we'll get you to introduce yourself informally. So, Abies Sonia is an integrative life coach. She's a practitioner of emotional freedom technique with matrix reimprint and practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming and a UK qualified teacher. Abies Sonia impacts the lives of people positively through transformational coaching, one-on-one or group mentorship, and informative speaking and storytelling. She's also a mental health advocate, burnout prevention and recovery advocate, and has impacted the lives of more than 400 women through live and online programs and conferences. She's a lifelong learner, a positive psychologist, and a counselor in training. She enjoys spending time with her family. She's a physical fitness enthusiast, that's awesome, lover of nature, and enjoys baking. Awesome. Somebody give my girls the clap.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me. I am delighted to be here today, and I'm looking forward to, just talking on this topic today. So thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So as always, there are some questions that I love people to, that I love to ask people. So I often say, you know what, I've read the person's bio, but beyond the bio that we read, nobody was reading that bio, I was like, wow, 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 wow. But sometimes we also want to meet the person beyond the bio. We've read that bio, but beyond the bio, informally, who would you say Abies Sonia is? To start with, as I was reading your name, I noticed that is actually a short form. So kind of take us there with your name. Give us the full name beyond the short form, and then informally just tell us a little about you.
A lot of people ask me this. My name is a double barrel name, so I try to just shorten it for ease. So my full name is Abies Sonia Ebenezer Bamigbayo.
Sonia. Wow.
Ebenezer Bamigbayo. So I just shorten it. Abies Sonia is just shorter because the whole of the name is a mouthful. So I thought I would make it easier for people as well. And that's why I go with that really. So who is Abies Sonia? I am a very, very playful person. I am very giving. I'm a loyal person. And I'm very, very friendly. I easily just get along with people.
Awesome.
I am daughter of the Most High God. I love to think I'm God's favorite. I love to think so.
I know, don't we
because
all?
I say him as my father. Absolutely. I say him as my father, and that just gets me going. I am a mother of two, and I am happily married to my husband for the past 15 years. I teach, I coach, I counsel. I love baking. I think that basically sum it up. I love talking about subjects that would transform people's mind. I think that actually got my family to think that I would be a lawyer. I actually did law for 2 years, but for the strike, that is story for another day. But for the strike in Nigeria, and it took me through a different route. I love to do things that we impact people's life because I believe we are not just here to just float away. We are here for a purpose. And I believe in helping people find that as well. So it's centered around that most of the things that I do. I am a family lover. I love family time. I absolutely love family time. That is me in a nutshell.
Wow, wow, wow. You don't look a day older than 16. So they say you're a mom of two, and I'll be like, really?
Three, actually three. Did I say two?
Wow.
It's actually three.
Oh,
So I've
three.
got a 15 years old, 11 years old, and a 5 years old.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. You look good for that.
Oh, thank you, mom.
Thanks for sharing that with us. And I know, like, just like you said, a lot of us love to think but I don't see that we think we are actually God's favorite because we
Mm,
don't have to compete for the spot. Each of us can be his favorite. I have always able to, I'm a
absolutely.
beloved daughter of Abba, like I'm the only one. But we can all be beloved of him, which is great to know. Thanks for sharing that. Another question I'm going to ask is, can you share two fun facts about him that we don't
Oh,
know?
okay. So when my favorite music come on anywhere, I tend to just dance.
Oh wow.
Any of my music that I like, irrespective of where I am, I just seems to just dance. I love my good music. What else? What else? I'm a lover of nature and anything beautiful. So I love to see beauty in things. This is why I'm very, very complimentary. I tend to compliment people a lot because I just admire good things and beautiful things. And I think that's a fun part. So it just kind of
Yeah.
doesn't matter what the person is or what it is. I just love beautiful things. I
Mm,
see beauty in things. And maybe that's why I love taking photograph a lot. I could photograph the craziest thing. I go on a walk, I see a spider web, between trees. Maybe there's a bit of snow on it. There's just something different
something is
about it. It makes it so pronounced, because
yeah,
spider webs are so tender.
yeah,
And just because of a change of season, you just see that
yeah.
beautiful thing, so intricate, so yet so detailed,
Wow.
made by very, very precious creation. And you'll be wondering,
Mm.
a spider and this, I can take a picture of that and blow it up and just play with it. So yeah, I think
Oh
that is
wow.
the fun part about me.
We have a lot in common. We do have a lot in common. I love to dance a lot. I'm sure which I love it. It's very therapeutic. I always tell people.
Yes.
Music comes the other day. I think this yeah, I think it was on Monday. I did a video this last week. And it was because I was in the kitchen, I was dancing, and then my music came on like, oh, and I started dancing.
You don't waste the music. You just dance to it. Move
You
your
just
body a
dance to
little
it.
bit.
So I completely understand you. And even with taking pictures, I still did it this morning. I was sharing with my son. I was saying to him, oh, guess what? I took a picture of my walk this morning. And I was sending the pictures to him. Oh, the sun, it was so beautiful. The sun came out and I was there. And I'm sure people were thinking, she's going for a walk. Why is she taking pictures? So I can identify, I can really, really
Oh,
identify.
that's good.
I know. And so my daughter's like, oh, your Google Photos is full. I'm like, it's fine. Because like you said, there are things that we take for granted, but like you go on a walk, you see those things, and you're like, wow, this is so beautiful. They're simple, yet you can learn
Yes,
so much from it. If we
absolutely.
just stop to just pause on it and just ponder, we learn a lot.
Yeah,
Wow. Thanks for sharing that.
you're
And thanks for
welcome.
seeing beauty in everything. And I think actually everybody should see beauty because when you see beauty even in people, they might have flaws, but guess what? Because you see the beauty in them, it might be a lifesaver for somebody that maybe
Absolutely.
nobody else, especially with the kind of work that you do as well outside coaching, which is teaching. So
Mm,
you're gonna have to do that a lot because there are people that will come into your classroom that would not, but
absolutely.
that it will not seemingly be beautiful. But when you begin to see beauty in them as a teacher, and you know how we are with our teachers, I always say it, we believe they're never wrong. So if you have that
Yes.
perspective and you pass that on to the children you teach, can you imagine
Yes.
how they're going to begin to think? So wow, wow.
Absolutely. Building their self-esteem in the process
That-
because you are sitting on a place of
don't
influence.
don't
So you get
even
how to
go
use it
there.
right.
A lot. Always have people say, "Oh, my teacher in grade 5, my teacher in this did this to me." So it's either negative or positive. We each have stories
Yeah.
of teachers. So people have them heroes like the teacher because they just said to them, "You can do it," and then they began to grow
Mhm.
from there. So wow, that's
Yes.
that's beautiful. That's powerful. Wow, thanks for sharing that with us. So at least people get to know my guests a little bit more. So now let's go to the topic of today: burnout and how to avoid it. So I was reading, as I went on your IG page, I was reading a bit. I think it was you did a post. That post really intrigued me, and you were talking about how, as a career woman, you almost burned out. I know, almost went into depression. And I was like, wow, you mean burnout can go that far? And as we talk about this, I just wanted to kind of take us into your journey. Like when you hear that word burnout, what is the first thing that comes to mind? And how was your journey, or what was your journey of burnout? What was it like?
Burnout is, we see when you said the visuals, it's like when you light a matchstick, it start
Hmm.
burning, it start burning, and you're still holding it comfortably, it start burning. And the closer it gets to the skin where you're holding it, then you feel it.
Hmm.
But is that when the fire started? No.
No.
It started from the top. And because you were oblivious of it, you got burnt.
Wow.
That's when you get burnout. So burnout is just, I would say, is the foundation of stress, chronic stress. Because at the end of the day, when people say they will help you eliminate stress, it's impossible. You can't eliminate stress because there is eustress, which is a good stress.
Hmm.
The stress that you go through where you want to achieve a dream and you put in that effort, it motivates you.
Yeah.
The stress that you go through when you're waiting for a bus to come and then you are just few meters away, the bus, you see the bus coming to that bus stop and you run. That is stress, but it's you stress is a good one and it's very
Wow.
short-lived.
Wow.
However, when you
Hmm.
have prolonged or chronic stress where you are constantly in a state where what you have to give and what you are giving is too much. So, for example, your capacity is at 100, but what is requested of you is the 200, sometimes a
Hmm.
1,000. So
Wow.
you are giving more than your capacity physically.
Can
So
take.
burnout is a
Hmm.
combination of physical exhaustion, emotional, and mental. When you get to that stage, like you are not even tired anymore, you become numb
Hmm.
to people. You don't even want to be in the same space. The things that will usually motivate you will no longer motivate you. It's a state of hopelessness where you don't care anymore. You are blunt to emotions. You don't care anymore. So that is what burnout is. So if you are looking at it in that visual aspect, it's not just the physical aspect where you say, I'm tired, I've done too
Yeah.
much
It
today.
goes beyond
No,
that.
it goes
Hmm.
beyond it. I know the word burnout started with work. It was related to work. But right
Yeah.
now, since the pandemic, we all know that it's beyond work now. So you are home as a mother. When people say they are home managers, you're working at home. You have to do the laundry, you have to do the food, you have to do the ironing, you have to coordinate the children's activities. You have to take them to school. That is work. So what do we actually mean by work? When people say burnout is only related to workplace, no, it's not. For the fact that you have an office, a building, and that is the place where you work and they pay you wages, doesn't mean that you cannot do some of those activities and even more in your house.
No.
So,
Yeah.
as a home manager, a homemaker, you can be burnout because you are working at home when the children go to school. When you drop them, you are a driver. When you are cooking, you are a chef. When you're booking an appointment, you're an
Yeah.
assistant.
Mm-hmm.
When you're nursing their legs or their hurt, you are a nurse. When they are telling you what's wrong with them, you're trying to diagnose what's wrong with them. You're a medical doctor. All those things are just called, they are professions, right? They are people that
Mm.
get paid for it. The fact that you're a
Mm.
homemaker or you are burnout and you are not at work doesn't mean you are not burnout. You are
Mm.
burnout as long as you are exhausted physically and happen at the same time. But the process might not be at the same time. But
Yeah.
when those three meet, maybe the
Mm.
physical exhaustion, and then you have the emotional exhaustion where
Emotional.
you're crying for no reason.
For any
Every
little
little
thing, you
thing,
break down.
you're crying, you're breaking
Mm.
down, you know. You don't see hope in anything. You don't see the point. When people you ask, they say, what's the point? At that stage, you don't care anymore. And then mentally, they can't process things. They
Yeah.
begin to forget things. You tell them something, you like, they're asking you again, but I told you before when
Mm.
forgetfulness. It comes in, your brain is kind of foggy. So when those three merge together and you are not changing anything, you are constantly like a rat race. You are constantly in that wheel. You're going on and on. So it will get to a point where your body will tell you, I'm tired. I know of a man who was burned out and he carried on drinking coffee, energy drink, and everything. It got to a point he was driving. He couldn't even move his hand. He had to safely, his hand was just locked on the wheel like this. He had to safely park. He couldn't, his body was numb.
Wow.
So he has numbed all his responses with the energy drink and the caffeine. So he couldn't feel it anymore. But his body had to tell him, no, we've had enough. We are not moving today. They had to call the ambulance and take him to the hospital.
Hospital. Wow. 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 That's a lot. We can even. I'm just seeing it to start to even unpack that, because you spoke about the physical, you spoke about the emotional, you spoke about mental. There's a whole lot that you mentioned in there. And then you spoke about the question I was going to ask you next, which are what are some of the signs you've mentioned? If you spoke about forgetfulness,
Mm.
you spoke about being numb. So it could even be your body is numb, but then even your mind is numb
That's
to things.
the mental part of it, you
Yeah,
know,
is
and the
numb.
emotional responses. So the signs they vary from people. It's not a one size fits all. So one sign for someone else might be a sign for the other. And so, for example, people having constant headache, those frontal
Yeah,
headache,
yeah, yeah,
that might sometimes progress to migraine, and then you
yeah,
become light sensitive and all of that stuff. But you're not just having it on one day. It is not part of your life
yeah.
where you're constantly popping maybe paracetamol and all
Hmm.
of that stuff to manage it. You know, that is not good. And then when you have, mine was red eyes. My eyes were just bloodshot in my eyes.
All the time.
You know, it was really bad. Even my children were like, Mom, your eyes is red again. It means you're tired. So they knew about it. Even in terms of sexually, you don't even want to even, if you're married, you don't even want to even be touched. Your body is just aching. So you don't want to even fulfill that part of your
Hmm.
marital
Okay. Wow.
obligation. You don't want to, because you have to love yourself to be able to give yourself,
Yeah,
right? So you're
yeah.
not feeling loved. You're not feeling satisfied with the way you're feeling mentally. So you can really commit to that. And another thing again, in terms of the emotional aspect, like the crying, some people becomes very snappy
Hmm.
and angry
Hmm.
over the littlest of
Hmm.
things. Your child might just call you mommy, you just blow up. So let's say for a penny offense, you are paying back with about £20. Let's work the investment there. It's not
Hmm.
proportionate, right?
No.
So you are overreacting.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you might even become placid. So you
Hmm.
detach from your emotion. People are doing this, you're just looking. Your boss is talking to you. You don't care
You are not
anymore.
there.
You
Hmm.
are not there. So that's absenteeism.
Hmm.
Absenteeism. So even if you're at work, but you're not really being productive at work. So you're at work, but you're not at work. So people might just call in sick. You don't want to leave the bed. It got to a point, I don't want to leave my bed. Everybody knows that me, I love dressing up. I love to
Hmm.
just dress up, but I would just stay in bed. My hair, you don't care about your appearance anymore, right? So you don't want to even know my hair. I would not do my hair. I was not really into makeup, so that was good. But in terms of the physical care, you are not really bothered because inside of you, you are not feeling fulfilled. You are not happy. And the worst part of it is that when you carry on in that circle, so those things are happening to you, right? But you're carrying on in that circle, you've not done anything about it. So, which is why it's a very, I call it a slippery rope to destruction.
Hmm.
It's very dangerous to me. I feel if you carry on that for up to a long time, you can end up being depressed.
Yeah. And even taking your life if
That's
eventually
right.
nothing
Suicidal
happens.
ideation. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So if I may ask, how, like for example, when you went through it, how did it start? Was it that you were first of all you were just stressed out, or what really led to it?
You see, I will just create a bit of, before I get to that your question,
Mm.
there are things that cause it. A lot of people
Mhm.
think it's just work. It's not work
Yeah.
because I was actually an evidence. I got burnt as a career woman, right? And then I
Mm.
left to do business and I got burnt again. So it
Mm.
kind of just proved the hypothesis that burnout
Mm.
is beyond work.
Yeah.
Now, personality comes to play. Your
Okay.
personality. So if you're one of those that are people pleasers,
Mm.
just want to please people. You don't want to offend anybody,
So
or
you
you're
just
one of
keep
those that
doing. Mm.
that's right, or you're one of those so you bite more than you can chew, really, or
Yeah.
you're one of those that are perfectionist. So if things are not perfect, you are moving. So you are
Mm.
overcommitting to a little
Mm.
task. So you are exhausting yourself
Yeah.
mentally because you are doing it physically, the job, but your mental mind is telling you that thing is not good enough. So you're
Mm.
thinking of how to get it better. So
Better.
you become a perfectionist and you're draining your energy. You're
Mm.
draining yourself because you are giving yourself a negative feedback. So emotionally, you're not feeling good that what you're doing is not perfect, up to standard. So people like that are prone to it. Then you have people that just want to be busy. They just like to be busy. If they are not busy,
That's how some people validate themselves, I think.
that's right.
They
They
have to
want to
be
be
busy.
busy. They want to be busy. They want to be busy. So busy does not mean being productive, right?
Mm-mm.
So they
Mm-mm.
are being busy, exhausting themselves for nothing. Then you have people that will get it according to their because of their lifestyle. So their lifestyle, those people that have very, very busy schedule. So they leave very early in the morning and they come back late in the night for various reasons, maybe transportation. So they are constantly on the go. The amount of time they sit down is not enough to rejuvenate their body, right?
Mm.
And then you have people that they don't take time off. You have 28 days, 28 days in UK to take your time off, your holiday. Some people that don't take time off. They are constantly working, right? They program themselves, they have to work. Those are the people again. Then you have people that um they just in a way
Mm.
they are type A personality. What that means they are high achievers. So they
Yes.
are always like aiming higher and higher. That will drain you at some point if your lifestyle is not balanced with
Yeah.
what is required of you. So now, when you're working every time, is addictive. Mine became addictive. So
Mm.
I was teaching, I was doing businesses on the side. So what that means, people think, oh, teachers have long holidays. But the truth of the matter is, you have to do your planning time.
Yep.
You have to mark,
Mm-hmm.
you have to do assessment continuously to prove that children are progressing in your class.
Mm.
So there is a lot of demand from that job. So you're constantly doing that. So I have to wake up in the morning, take the children, and then go to school, come back with work to mark. But then I was
Yep.
doing cake decoration as well. So
Wow.
I'm doing cake decoration. And then I was
Mm.
doing other businesses where I was doing a bit of retailing on the side and all of that stuff. So in that way, I fell into the category of those people that love to be busy and a perfectionist. Because once I'm doing that cake, if it's not perfect in my eyes, that
You
cake is not
you won't
moving.
let go.
Yes, it's not moving. So
Wow.
what that means is that I invested a lot of my time and then I became sleep deprived. So I
Mm.
come back from work, pick the children. My time will get home maybe about 6:37
Mm.
and then get them to do their assignments.
Yeah.
And I take them to bed after doing the food. And then I get on with my cake that I want to decorate. And if that cake, God help me that night, it does not turn out to be perfect the way I want it, I can do that cake up to about 2 a.m. Considering I'm
You still
waking
have
up
to wake
maybe
up the
about
next
6 a.m.
morning.
Right. So I've had about 4 hours sleep. So that was the lifestyle I created for myself.
Mm.
Nobody did. I created it for myself. So if you remember, I mentioned that my personality, which
Yeah.
is the perfectionist, the busy, 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 and all of that stuff. So what that means is that I lived that life for 8 years of my teaching
Wow.
career. So even when I left, I'd become addicted to it. So when I started my business, I
Same
carried on
thing.
being the planner, the CEO. Even when people help me, I don't like asking for help. I don't like it at all. I just do my own thing by myself. But now I've learned that no, you can't do everything by yourself. You're
You
gonna
need
die
people.
before your time. You need people. The
Yeah.
funniest thing is that I will help people. But to not ask for help, it was difficult.
Yeah.
So when I started that business, I was like, yeah, I want to have time for my children. They are growing
Mm.
really fast. I want to have time for myself. These people want to kill me before my time. So I left. So I became a slave driver as a CEO, a CEO that is employed by herself, but want to kill herself in the process. It was the same. So what that means is that I became addicted to being busy.
Yeah.
My husband was like, okay, let me help you. Okay, let's employ someone. Like, oh no, you have to build something. You have to build it to a particular extent. Know the process before you now give
And,
it to someone else. You see that perfectionist
and killing
coming back
yourself in the
again.
process.
Process, exactly. Process. And I did not work smart.
Mm.
I didn't
Mm.
work smart. I was
You
working
worked
hard. I
hard.
only believed in working hard. So I would
Mm.
do that. So if not for COVID, I had a miscarriage before COVID.
Oh, daddy.
So when I
Mm.
had that,
Of the
it kind of
pressure of
knocked me
that.
down. Yes.
Wow.
It knocked me down like, oh my goodness. And then I was feeling unfulfilled. Like, is this all life is?
Mm.
Where you just keep working, 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 working. Is this how I've not programmed myself? If I don't work, even my husband, when I'm pregnant, like, sit down. That's not me. I
Mm.
work till 2 weeks or a week before giving birth. Yeah,
Wow.
my colleagues are practically telling me, Sonia, take time off.
Yeah.
I can't. When I'm at home, I'm doing other things. So you see what I mean? It started by my work, but it became addictive, it became a habit. The
Mm.
little things that you don't look at, it will
Mm.
control your life. So when I became my own CEO, the same thing
The
followed me.
same
So
thing.
thank God for COVID. I know a lot of people will not understand that. I said thank God to COVID because that was when I then allowed my husband to then employ someone fully to help
Somebody. Mm.
because I became a homeschool teacher for my children.
Yeah.
So in that process, I have to invest in personal development. And
Yeah.
this whole world opened up for me.
Opened up.
Like,
Mm.
Sonia, it wasn't your boss, it wasn't your work that was killing you.
Mm.
You
Was you.
are the one that is the reason for your burnout. You are the one that made yourself burn out. So some people might like, I sleep enough now. I do self-care. Mm-mm. You have to disrupt
Yeah.
intentionally that
Yeah.
rat race.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't disrupt it, if you like, go to a massage on your way to work. When you're coming back, go to the gym. If you like it, do all of those things. Do facials, do pedicure, do manicure, go on holiday. You know what? As long as you've not disrupted your lifestyle, you
Mm.
will go back, come back refreshed, and that same lifestyle will
Start
zap
again.
the energy off you mentally,
Wow. Wow.
physically, and emotionally.
Wow.
And you're like, but I just came back from Barbados. I just came back from Dubai. I just came back from this. It doesn't matter until you reevaluate your life and prioritize what is important to you.
Yeah.
You are going to run yourself down to the ground again. I changed my life all over. I
Mm.
built, I accepted help from my support system
System.
and I did
Mm.
not leverage on my sister. I will be driving, I will be sleeping.
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
not proud of it. I'm
Mm.
actually ashamed of that, but I will be
That was how
driving and I'll
tired
be
you were.
sleeping. Yes.
Hmm.
And I'll bring my all my everything down, even in cold season, bring it down, all the windows down,
So that at
just to
least
get
fresh air
fresh
can
air.
come in, but still.
Yeah. I constantly had a mint gum. I had a holder for it in my car where I have to just throw the mint in to chew. And then I started having pain in my teeth. So I had to stop that. But I'll still put it occasionally. Sometimes I get water, but to splash water on
Hmm.
my face. It was really bad. I'll be washing the plates in the kitchen. My hands are moving, but I'll be sleeping.
Hmm.
It was bad. So I'm washing the plate like this. And before you know it, I'm slowing down and the sponge drop, water splash. I'm like, oh,
That's when you wake up.
that's when I wake up. So I was sleep deprived. I was easily agitated. I lost touch of my personal care. I would just, it doesn't work for me. I would just get tired of things easily. So even though the money is there,
Hmm.
even though things are working fine, you feel like you're drowning,
Yeah.
even though you're a good swimmer, but you feel like you're drowning.
I love that one. Even though you're a good swimmer, you feel like you're drowning. Thank you for sharing this point you're sharing because I believe it's going to liberate a lot of people. Sometimes we look for the big signs, but I love the way you're sharing the which I was going to ask, are the practical everyday signs. Some of us see those um red flags, almost like red flags in relationships, red flags of burnout. We started. Some people experience them already, but they're like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine." And I believe some of the things that you are sharing now are like red flags, which are they're giving us clues that there's something we need to take care of. You
Mm.
spoke about the lifestyle. So it's not really, and actually, my husband and I were saying this thing, I think a couple of weeks ago, that how come when we go on holiday, we come back, we need another holiday from that holiday. You go on holiday, you come back, you're tired. What the use of going on holiday? And then he was like, it's because when people go on holiday, they don't even rest. A lot of people don't rest even on the holiday. They're meant to go there and maybe sleep, or is it like we're looking for where to go, things to go and buy. And he said that's what, so you come back home, you're thinking I've been to Barbados for 10 days. Now I need another holiday too.
Mm.
It's almost like what you're saying now. So some
Mhm.
of us just need to look at our lifestyle. I think that's the biggest thing you shared for me. That's the biggest part I picked. Look at our lifestyles and say, is this lifestyle serving me? Is this the best life God is asking me to live? Is this the best way I can live? And like you
Yeah.
said, for a lot of us, there are support systems that are even asking us, can I help you with this? Can I come in?
Mhm.
We have the support system right there. But
Yeah.
I'm almost like you as well. I love to help people. But when it comes to people helping me, I'm like, really, I'm fine. Because sometimes I'm like, the time I used to tell you what I want you to do, I've already finished it. So
That's true.
why am I telling you?
That's
But
true.
sometimes we need to say, hello, you are not El Shaddai, else you shall die. So we need to think, Lord, if I need help, let me just receive help. So that
That's
you
true.
don't, you stay here for the long haul. Because really,
Mhm.
like you said, God has a purpose for each of our lives. And often some people even go before their time, not because God
Yes.
destined it, but because of the lifestyle that we've created. And I think the world is becoming busier. It's becoming busier. And so if we do not take charge of
Yeah.
our lives, guess what? If we don't take charge, whatever happens, we're to blame.
Yes.
I had a similar experience where with mine, I don't even know if mine was burnout, but I got into a point of there was just so much stuff going on here, and I was not decluttering. And then he ended up
Mhm.
in depression. And then one day I was going out, and I had, I actually had two suicide attempts in that time.
Wow.
So, and I share that story often. So sometimes we just need, and I love this because you're being very practical. For me, I could sleep standing up. Like I'm that kind of sleep. I can do it. But maybe I was actually sleep deprived at the time. Maybe.
Mm.
Now that you are sharing it, I'm starting to think about some things. So
Yeah.
as women, maybe we need to reevaluate. Hello, if your life is going at 1,000 miles per hour and you know that it's not serving you, you are, for example, a lot of people are people pleasers. I want everybody to be happy. But you
Mhm.
yourself are not even happy.
Yeah.
You yourself feel like I'm doing too much. I need to do less. I need to reduce it. Maybe it might be a time for us to say, let's have a meeting with me, myself, and I.
Of
Call a
course.
conference call and say, God, show me what are the things that maybe I'm doing. And do you know it's funny because some things are not even like in that person's calling, but we're doing them. So you
Mhm.
have no business even doing. Like say some of us just love to be busy. So
Yeah.
I want a woman listening, a woman watching to, and just as I'm saying it, somebody else is watching and they're saying, yes, I need to look at my life. Maybe I need to reevaluate. Even in the home, sometimes even our children are resource people that God has put in our lives that we can even make use of that. Like they want to help us, but we don't even give them a chance,
Yes.
of helping us. So
Yes.
I don't know, but thank you for being vulnerable, for sharing that, because I believe that lifestyle thing really just hits me like wow. This like you are talking to us really. So another question I might want to ask you, you shared a lot in that. So another question I want to ask you is that what practical steps now if I've evaluated my life and I think okay I'm doing too much, I don't want to end up in burnout. Like you said, it's like that mad stick. It starts at the top and it's going down.
Mhm.
What, how can I start to put things in place to ensure that I don't end up burning out? So that, as you said, I'm mom, I'm chauffeur, cleaner, especially if you live in diaspora. We don't have a housemaid. You are
No,
you are the laundry person. You are the one taking to extracurricular activities.
mm,
You are like 1 million things to so many people. We wear so many hats. So what practical thing
absolutely.
can we put in place? You've spoken about help from the people around us or support them, but what other practical thing can we put in place to help us so that we don't end up in that deep dive of when we can't even pull ourselves back?
Yeah, like you said, I cannot say it's enough. Support system. You may be asking, how do I even start a support system? I live in diaspora. I know it can be lonely here, but you have to be what you want other people to be to you. So it
Hmm.
starts with you
I love that.
deliberately helping someone as well. You know, talk to someone, a sister. If you have people that they go to the same school as your children, how about you share it? Do you all have to take your cars to that same school to pick your
You
children
can
up? Your
carpool.
neighbors,
Hmm.
couple, you could do that. So you pick my child up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll pick your child up Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You swap it around, right? You're doing the same activities. You could do the same thing again. Like my sister would tell me, you are so tired. Just bring your children. You just go and do whatever you want to do with yourself, right? So if you have family around, leverage on it. And they
Hmm.
said charity begins from home.
Yeah.
If you are married, you have a husband. This is the time you have a heart-to-heart talk with your husband.
Please amplify
Because
it.
to be honest, yeah, nobody wants to be a widow, a
Hmm.
widower. Nobody wants to be that. You need to just be vulnerable. You cannot be
Yeah.
vulnerable with your spouse. Who can you
Yeah.
be vulnerable with? They might
Yeah.
not understand it, especially if you have a husband that is, or a wife that is African inclined,
Yeah.
you're going to have to re-educate them, let them
Yeah.
know the dangers because they don't
Hmm.
want to see their wife or their
Hmm.
their husband like that. So you need to explain to them what this is really doing to you. So for example, I'm back to do my second master's now, and I couldn't
Hmm.
have done it without my husband, to be honest. He
Hmm.
knows. So we had to just so whatever you're doing, have a meeting with your spouse.
Yeah.
Work out the rationality of how you are going to share the task, the modality of everything. So the days that I go to class, he's in charge of the children. He's in charge of it because when I got my timetable, I didn't realize that I was going to stay that late. What that means, I'll not be able to
Hmm.
pick the children from
Pick them
school.
from
Do you know
school.
before I got from school to the house, I was having headache
Hmm.
in front of my head because I was trying different strategy. What can I do? Can I tell my lecturer I will leave 1 hour before lesson? But I
Before.
think about it, that will accumulate. That means
Yeah.
I will miss. I will always be 1 hour behind.
Everyone, every time, 1 hour's walk. Hmm.
Exactly. So how am I going to get that back? It's not recorded classes. I was thinking in my head, I had headache. When I got home, I dropped my bag. I was snappy. And I was like, what's wrong with you? You only just started. Are you going to carry on like this for the next 18 months? I was like, the timetable is not worked out the way I wanted it. What happened? Just share it. I explained to him, he said, that's not a problem. On Wednesdays, I
Wow.
will just be in charge of it. I will just take that day off. And then you do the other days then. The headache went.
The headache disappeared.
It's like you want to kill
Wow.
yourself. Don't you know
Hmm.
what you've been through? Just
Yeah.
share it. They will always find a way out. Don't worry
Wow.
about it. I was like, oh, thank God for that. But the old me, I'll be moody. I'll be snapping at him. I
Now, why
won't
don't
tell
I
him.
have to do it myself? I don't need your help, kind of thing.
And
Hmm.
he will not even understand. Go like, why you moody? You'll be avoid me that season. But every Wednesday, what that means, I'll be moody. So after chat with your spouse. Ask for support. You are not weak asking for support. There is no man's job or woman's job. It's for support.
Wow.
Ask for support in a very kind and lovely way. And you will see you will get that help even more than you ask for,
Hmm.
right? So ask for support. Another thing, since you've recognized it, you have to find a way to reverse your lifestyle, reverse it and change, disrupt it completely. So you need to find a way now to, if it's work, you need to talk to your boss because now they are flexi hours. Ask for flexi
Yeah.
hours. If you have to lose some money and extend your
For your
life.
peace of mind. Yeah.
Yes. If you have to
Hmm.
lose some money to extend your life. Because
Hmm.
what's the point of filling your bank up and then in your old age you use that money to fix your life? Is it worth it? It's not
Mm.
worth it. So don't just think about now. Envisage what could happen in the future with your body so messed up, right? So ask for help, ask for support at work. And if you are a new mother, I know new mothers fall in this
Mm.
trap. You're
Mm.
going back to work, you are panicking. What will happen? Do you know that when you're coming back from maternity leave, it is the best time to negotiate your working hours? A lot of people don't know this. It's the best time to negotiate your working hour. You know why? Your maternity leave give you leverage because you're just coming back.
Yeah.
So they don't want
And,
to
and
toy
they're
with
also
you.
sympathetic towards you, thinking, oh, she's a new
Exactly.
mom. She's coming
Yeah,
back to work. And they appreciate you for even coming back.
absolutely. A lot of people that work rigid job, do you know the best time they get flexibility when they're coming back from maternity leave?
Maternity.
That's
Wow,
when you
that's a
get that
nugget.
flexi working hour. So
Mm.
negotiate that time and see what will happen. If maybe there is work-related stress, you are not familiar with the system at work, ask for help. Don't die in
Mm.
silence.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people will go, I'm not techie savvy. So when the system at work change becomes to techie, you see them getting frustrated, getting
Yeah.
flustered, overwhelmed. What is the point of dying a secret? Request for a training, in-house or outside.
Yeah.
You need to let them know to become a better version of yourself at work. You need support during your supervision where you're having a feedback on your performance. Request for that. So
Mm.
ask for support at work as well. Ask for training. If people at work are giving you issue, you
Mm.
need to just find a way that you
Yeah.
think about things.
Wow.
Right? You see, think about how you see people. If you see people as problem, they will always give you
The
problem.
problems. Yeah.
But if you see people as they have a problem, but their problem do not have to be my problem.
Yeah.
You can't change people, but you can change how you react to them.
Yeah.
You know them already. So move away from anything that will bring you together. If you have to work with them, just be tolerant, as in avoid any drama
Yeah.
whatsoever. Mind the way you react. Sometimes we are too reactive. Look
Mm.
at me this way. I said good morning. You did not answer.
Not
And
thinking of, you don't know what's going on in that person's mind. Maybe they didn't even
that
hear
is it.
you. Like there's a whole lot of things going on in their mind.
Absolutely.
Mm. Mm.
Absolutely, ma'am. Because sometimes we are so self-centered. You interpret everything with your assumption, with the little
Mm.
that you know.
Well,
And say good morning, did not say good morning. So because of that, you are upset with that person. They are
mm.
not even aware of it. Then your emotions, you are investing it unnecessarily, wasting it. When you keep doing that, making enemies of the people you work with, your workplace will become toxic. Yeah, some people might say, I work in a toxic environment. Look for another job. Your sanity is more important than money. Look for another job. Exit. You just have to look
Mm.
for another job. Then, if maybe it's your overdue, learn to say no. No is a full sentence. People
Yeah.
ask you, just say no. You don't need to explain yourself.
Mm-mm.
No, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Or just say no. If they ask you for further reasons, or a polite way to just say it, you could say, I am not available on this day, but I'm available on this other day. What do you think? Do you still need my help? If they need your help and it fit within their time, then so be it. If they don't, at least you are more polite rather than just saying no. You were
Mm.
more polite to say, I'm not available at this time.
Terrible. Yeah.
I'm available at this time. So what that means, control your space. Don't let people just invade in your space.
So
It's not good,
important. Yeah, so
you know.
important.
So
Mm.
that's another thing. There are some people I'm talking about trying to touch the personality, the lifestyle, and
Yeah.
everything.
Thank you for
Then you
doing
also
that.
there are some people as well that feel like they have to be a particular way to be able to fit into a particular place.
Mm. Yeah.
Right?
So they
You
change
don't
their
have to do that.
personality to fit
Yeah.
them. Meanwhile, that's not them.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was coaching someone and she was like, I can't really say no. There's someone that is always taking my time. And sometimes I even have to cancel my shift to be able to support this person.
Wow.
So I told her, I said, okay, what would you prefer the person do? Ample notice. So we worked on it. And the first day she was able to address the person, like, can you help me look after my child? He said, I'm sorry. I've already picked a shift. But on these days, I'm free. I can help you. And the woman was like, oh, okay, thank you. I will
You
bring her on
see, it wasn't
Friday.
even that bad.
She called me on the phone. Sonia, I did it. I did. I'm like, what did you do? I actually told
I
her
stood
that I
up
can't
to
do it. And
her.
she was not even angry. I was like, wow, I'm talking about a full grown person.
Mm,
Now, this is a little bit of tips for parents. Please do not always make your kids, don't force them to do things too much. What you make them do, they become people pleasers. They become people
mm,
that cannot say no when they need to say no.
mm.
When your child say no, they can't do something. Sometimes ask them why.
Why?
Try and see their point of view.
Mm,
Sometimes let them off. Not
mm.
because you want them to be badly behaved within reason, but because you want them to be able to stand up for
To
themselves
stand for
when they need to,
themselves. That's a
right?
powerful one. Because we
Then
often
there is
say,
another one.
why would you not do it? Like, I
That's
asked
right.
you
You're
to do that. You
forcing
didn't
down
do
their
it.
throats.
Why would you not? So they say, okay, let me do so mommy can be happy. But meanwhile, it's not something that they really should be, or they feel like they should be doing. And they have a reason why. But we have not even asked them
And you
to
are
do.
building their personality. You are building their personality bit
That's a
by bit.
powerful
They
one.
become that. They become that. That's what will happen. They become people pleasers. Right? Mommy pleasers, daddy pleasers. They are people
Yeah.
pleasers. That's what happened. See the
Mm.
bigger picture. Then for people that don't have the time to take time off, please take time off. Stop collecting money for the time you're supposed to be off. Some people wait in April. We
I
take our full time in
know.
April. They say, okay, I don't want to take time off. Just give me the money. Don't do that.
You need you,
Don't
you
do
need
that.
a rest. You need a rest.
Yes.
Even if you want to
Take
do a
your time off.
staycation, just in your house, sleeping on your bed.
Yes.
Like you don't want to
Yes.
go anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to look for things as well that will boost you up. What do you like to do? That you do it in such a way that you be in a state of flow. A state of flow is when you enjoy doing something, you forget to look at the time. You
Mm.
enjoy doing something, you are lost in that world. You see some people, they will dance and dance and dance,
That's me on
like
the
David dance,
trampoline.
they will say. That's
Me
it.
dancing, me
Like,
on the trampoline. I can just be there on and on and on and on. I really don't care. I enjoy
that's it. That's a state of flow. When you get into that state, you are, the no medicine can buy that. You are blessed because everything, your serotonin, everything is building up. You are happy for no reason. You are just joyful. You feel fulfilled. You need to find something, an activity or whatever you would
Yeah,
do to get in that state.
yeah.
Because it's very, very good to be in that
Very
state.
important.
Incorporate exercise. I'm not saying go and sign up for gym membership. You can skip. You can do Zumba online. Thank God for
You can
YouTube.
just, yeah,
You
so
can
many things
dance.
now. Like I said,
A
thank God for
lot of
COVID.
things.
Now our eyes are open to so many opportunities, so many things
So
you can do,
many.
even from the comfort of your home. But what about
Yes. Yeah.
one group I wanted us to also address before, as we bring this to a close? Moms of little children, because I know that's a big group of people that burn out so easily. Sometimes they
Easily.
get so stressed. Because some people say, "Well, I can't even let go of the child. The child will not let me go, even go to the bathroom." What tips can we give them?
If you can't sleep, especially the sleep one is a big one because
Mm,
mine I had hives all over me because of the lack of sleep.
wow.
Hives
Oh,
started coming
wow.
out of my body. I have to use comb. I was using a comb, scratch my own skin. I was bleeding. I didn't care. I just wanted the itch to go. I was crushing and scratching. And then when the itchiness went after I took some tablets, I saw the mark. It's as if I fought with a tiger.
Mm,
There was mark all over my back.
God.
There was mark on my hands and everywhere. So if you're like that, look for a support group to join. If you have, if you don't have a support group, please, if there's anybody that can help you look after that child, for you to just have a nap every now and then, do that. If the child is sleeping, you can sleep. That's not the time you'll
Sleep.
be doing laundry. That's not the time you'll be doing cooking. And to be honest, if you can't cook, there's nothing wrong with
Thank God
ordering
for
ever so
you
often.
have skip the dishes, you have Uber Eats, and you have so much.
Yeah,
And
you
if
can
you
do
can't,
that.
you have so much takeaway food now. You don't have to cook it yourself.
Yeah, that's
Mm,
right. There are healthy options now.
yeah.
And another thing again, go out for fresh air with your baby. Sometimes when you're stuck in the
Yeah.
house, It can be claustrophobic.
Yeah.
There's something the outside does to
Does
us.
to you.
Go
Oh,
out on a boogie walk with your child
yeah.
every day.
Day.
You know what I would do? You take that child out, you sit in the park, pack your sandwich or whatever it is, your snack, sit down. You are outside listening. You can even do a walking
Yeah.
meditation. You can do whatever, listen to good music as you're
Yeah.
going. What that means, you are changing the narrative, you're changing your environment, you are
Mm.
changing what you are listening to.
Hmm.
You listen to the birds shipping away, you see the trees swaying around, you forget your trouble at that time. And then you're having a date with yourself and your baby. What that
Hmm.
means, you have something else to look forward to apart from home, right?
You
And
are
then your
so
baby
right.
as well will be used to that. You see that baby will even sleep a little bit longer. And then by then you
Mm.
can then roll the baby back home where you can also catch a bit of sleep. Any
Yeah.
baby you put on the roller, you're rolling them, they fall asleep
They
the
fall
moment you
asleep.
they
Yeah.
fall asleep, right? So you do
Yeah.
that and then you can sleep. Another thing, please, mothers, when your house is dirty, your children, especially when they are crawling and walking, they have the toys everywhere. Don't form the habit of just tidying up, spanky clean every time. Remove the things that will cause obstruction.
Mm.
When the child goes to bed, you can tidy up. Don't wear yourself out. Tidying up every hour,
Because
every
we're
minute.
thinking a visitor is going to come. My
Let the
house has to
visitor
be
come.
clean. I know that's what. After I remember, I used to do that at first when I first had my boss. After I, I'm like, you know what? The visitor comes and also know that I have little children.
That's
Too bad.
right.
Too
That's
bad.
right.
But
Because
we
people didn't
learned
know there's
that.
a child in the house. You didn't know there's a child in the house.
Yeah.
So don't overdo things. And to be honest, set your expectation in a realistic way. I always talk about the D's. So there is the deletes. You see everything that you fit in your schedule. If
Mm.
it's not important, delete it.
Yeah.
Delegate. Like you said, we don't train our children enough. I started cooking when I was in primary school, and I've done the same thing to my children. Once you turn double digits, you're gonna have to start cooking.
Oh,
My
you
children
are
can make
good.
breakfast.
Mine started at 5.
Breakfast.
Mine started at 5. I put them
what
on
did
the
what did
stove.
they cook at
My
5? What
my
is it? The whisking of the
my
egg?
my
The
oldest
whisking
one
of the
started.
egg, they could do it.
They could whisk. They started
Yeah.
washing plates. I would give them the little stove. Stand on it. You are fine. And because I had 3 boys, so I thought, what if I never have a girl? I didn't know I was going to have a girl. My girl is last. So I'm like, my boys have to know how to cook. Like at 5, I'll give them. They wash plates. Then no, I think cooking started like 6, 7, but 5 was washing plates. They will whisk the egg. They will
Yeah.
put it in there. They will fry the egg. My
Yes.
oldest is turning 20, and he always tells people that I think my daughter is the one that doesn't really know how to cook this house. The boys are very good cook. Why? Because I was like, no, you have
You have
to.
to.
I can't
And
be
your
a
wives are
slave.
going to bless you. They are
That
going to bless
do you know
you.
that was my biggest prayer? I used to tell her, I said, if not for anything, be so that you can be for self-leadership, for yourself, be a blessing to you. You go to college and you're thinking, I don't even know how to boil rice. I don't even I said, and then you get married, and a woman will say, you mean you had a mom and she never taught you? I said, I don't want anybody to curse me when thinking that yeah, because they're
Yeah.
useless to them. So I want to be able to
Mhm.
give you as you can add value to their lives. She's in the kitchen, you can say, oh, do you need me to do this? And she's doing one thing, you're doing another thing. Not
Yes.
that I now give you to her and then you are completely useless. So maybe I overdid mine, like
Absolutely.
starting so young.
No, what you mean leaving them as in independently to cook?
Yeah,
Obviously, the whisking of egg, they love it.
I
My
was
five
always
years
there.
old,
I
they
was
would,
always
they
there
would
for
love to
everything.
do that. I just started baking. I remember when I had my second child, she was already 4. I did a baking birthday party for her where we did a cupcake, give her the icing, she and her
Yeah,
friends,
oh, they
and they
love
decorated
that.
it. So I exposed them to the kitchen. But in terms of
Yeah. Oh,
independently
independence.
cooking,
Okay.
when I trust them that even if I'm not there, I
Yeah.
know they'll be able to turn the gas
Yeah,
on
double
or the
digits.
electric or
Yeah.
whatever, and they can do it, right? But there are some people, my daughter was telling me the other day that Mom, she's actually turning 15 soon in 2 months. And then she was like, Mom, I'm so proud of myself. Like, what happened? She was
Mm.
like, there's this boy in my class, he cannot iron his clothes. His mom does the ironing for him. He cannot use the washer. He cannot cook. He can only just boil water. He can't do anything. The only thing he can make is toast on bread on toast or toast on bread or whatever they call it. That's all. When he was saying it, I felt really disappointed. I'm like, you don't
Mm.
do this. I was telling him what I do. I said, you
Wow.
were proud of
You even
yourself.
you
But
will feel
remember when
proud
I
of
was
her.
telling you, I was like, did you tell him that I have to like make you do it? He's like, oh yeah, mommy, I was really proud of myself. I said, you see, so you're self-sufficient for yourself. When you
Yeah.
go to uni, I'm not worried about what you're going to eat,
About it.
right? Then
Yeah.
you can use your money wisely, you can plan yourself.
Yeah.
So we really do need to get
Mm.
into the habit of, even batch cooking.
Yeah.
Batch cooking, that is
Yeah.
another one that can help mothers. So you made a
Yeah.
big pot of stew. You've already made that stew, it's a
Cook it
lot.
up.
Put it
Yeah.
into plates. Like, for example,
Yeah.
if you want to make jollof rice, 30 minutes, if you are my guest, is ready.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I have batch of tomatoes, sauce that is already made. I don't need
Made.
to add anything,
So you
just
just need to bring
rice.
it out.
I just need to bring it out. So batch cook
Wow.
when you are free. Batch cook the soup and the so you don't cook every day,
Day.
right? So you
Because it's
don't cook every
tiring. It's
day,
draining as
right?
well.
That's right.
Imagine the way you come back
So
from work now, then you're thinking I have to go into the kitchen. And you do that. If you do that every single day, it's tiring. Oh wow.
and
Wow.
another thing again, please, if you're in diaspora, I'm sorry for those that are not in diaspora, but if you're working, whether you're in diaspora or home, I just want to say create recipes that are easy to cook. A recipe that will require you to cook up to an hour. What are you cooking?
Hmm.
Me, I like simple recipe.
Yeah.
Simple recipe, create yours. You don't have to stick to our traditional food.
Yeah.
Learn to create things that you and your family will enjoy, that you don't have to slave in the kitchen cooking for
Mm.
hours. My menus are very, very easy.
I love
Anything
that.
that is up to an hour, I don't have the mind. If I stay up to that in the kitchen, I'm doing batch cooking where I'm
Mm.
making different things. I'm going to bash them away. So you're making spaghetti, about 30 minutes is ready, 15 minutes for the spaghetti. And then the sauce, let's say 20 minutes for it to simmer. It is
Yeah.
ready.
It's ready.
You are making porridge. You are making, what else do we make? You're making yam, make
Yeah.
sauce with it. You're
Mm-hmm.
making potato, make sauce with it. Simplify
Yeah.
your life in such a way that you don't have to join, oh, my mom made pounded
Wow.
yam for my father every time. You have to do the same.
Not
No.
in this day and age.
Create your own recipe
Yeah.
that within 30 minutes, you are in the kitchen, you're out of the kitchen, right?
Wow.
And then buy gadgets if you have the money. Me, I love kitchen gadgets.
Air
I can't keep
fryers.
myself.
You are so right.
I can't keep myself.
We
I
can
love the
start
easy
mentioning.
life.
I love them as well.
That's right. So the
They
pancake, my
make even
kids
the
are making
children's life
pancake.
easier.
That's right. So I have this blender, instead of me chopping the onions and the pepper, I have the one with electric. I have the one that you can just pull, you know,
Mm.
the master chef. Just buy those little gadgets in the kitchen that will make it, cooking fun for you. So it's no longer a chore.
Mm.
Above all, be grateful. We'll talk about this.
Mm.
I turn the lights on. I can't change it without talking about gratitude.
Yeah.
Positive psychology. I'm into positive psychology. Be grateful for what you have. You see that child
Yeah.
that is making you to lose sleep? There are people looking for children.
Yeah. Wow.
Be grateful for that child.
This is
Those
like a
children,
master class. Oh.
they will grow so fast. They will grow
Yeah.
so fast that you're like, where did the time go? So enjoy the
Mm.
process.
Yeah.
Create a mentality that whatever I do, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Whatever I do. So I'm in a constant state of enjoyment. You
Yeah.
too can do that. If you're
Yeah.
listening, you can do that.
Yeah.
Find the good little things in what you do. Enjoy it. I enjoy the time I spend with my children. I enjoy the time that the way I had to do everything for them. I enjoy the time that they're having to do things for
Good
me
for
now.
you.
Right?
Yeah.
Enjoy those things. That job that is stressing you, if
At
you
least you have
change
a
your
job to go
approach,
to.
thank you, ma'am. Right?
Mm.
Work smart as well and be grateful that you have a job to go to. The colleague that is troubling you, be grateful you're not working alone at work. Pray for them if you have to. Change your approach to the way you react. If you change your reaction, they'll probably notice and also change and give up on troubling you as well. Right? So change the way you do things. Love things around you. Look at things around you and be grateful for it. Journal the good old days because sometimes gratitude will not be enough because you may not see it. But those things
You
that
have
you
to
write
pull
down,
up
pick
those
those notes down,
memories.
pick it up and read it. Even you like, did I write this? So there are
Mm.
days like this. Then you know that things are a phase. This
Yeah.
will soon pass
Yeah.
and the good days will come. Everything
Mm.
is a process. We just
Yeah.
have to learn to enjoy life, even
Wow.
without make it
Wow.
enjoyable. Find the enjoyment in what you do as a mother, as a wife, as a friend, anything you do, make it
Mm.
enjoyable. Nobody can take that from you. You
Yeah.
see, focus on the things that are within your control.
Mm. Wow.
Focus on the things that are anything that is out of your control. It's none of my business. If you stick your hand at me as I'm driving, it's your hand. I'm
No
not going to
mind.
react to it. You can do whatever you want to do with your hand. I can choose to see it as anything I want to see it. I can laugh it over and just carry on what I'm doing. So people, they will be offended from morning to evening because someone cut you off in traffic. The
Yeah.
person you will never see again. You've allowed them
Mm.
rob you of your joy.
Wow.
That's draining as well, man. That's draining.
Yeah.
Mentally, people that are too reactive, they react to everything. You look at me
So
certain way,
you
they
never see
react.
the person again. They're gone. So why waste your, you know what? It's you are so right. And then
They're
you're stressed.
reactive.
It feels like you even react. You are stressed for the next 15 minutes just from that incident that you
Instance.
didn't even
That's
have to
right.
react to. Wow. Wow.
What
Wow.
you've released in your body is the
Yeah.
negative hormones in your
Hormones.
body. And
Yeah.
sometimes if you're not a generally happy person, it will take time for you to shake that
Yeah.
up,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Or you
People
might
that are
even mess
always
up your whole day.
pessimistic. That's right, man. And you attract more of that.
Yeah.
You will attract it. Someone cut you off in the traffic as you're
Yeah.
going. You're coming back, another person cut you off. Then the next another person just give you the finger. Then the next one is shouting the profane word at you. You're like, what have I done today? What kind of a day? You attracted it because that energy was with you.
Mm.
So that energy, they will find you. You've opened the door, they're
Yeah.
gonna find you. So you need to up your vibration and eat good food. Eat
Food.
healthy as well. When you
Wow.
eat healthy, your physical body will also, it will reflect as well. You don't easily get tired. But when you
Mm-hmm.
feed yourself on healthy food, what that means is that your body gets easily tired as well. So there are lots of things that we could do, but the main thing is recognize the signs of your stress, identify the stressor, and change it. There's
Mm.
something about it. Eliminate your stressor completely. Do everything you can to eliminate it. That's how you disrupt your cycle. Reverse your lifestyle. Reverse it by changing things. Change things around. Incorporate things that will help you. Things that, little things. You don't have to always pay for everything. You can
Yeah.
just buy this massage bubble thing. Put your feet in. You're in a
Oh, I
different
have
world.
one of
Have
those.
the Exactly. And have this facial stuff on your face.
Just feel like you're
Sit
in a
down.
massage. You're in a massage,
That's right.
but you're in your bathroom.
That's right. It doesn't cost a lot, right?
Yeah,
You put a
you're
good
right.
music in. Ooh, be vibing to that. That is your time up. You're having a good time. And build resilience to
Yeah.
things that you react to. Build your resilience to it. Because it's not that deep. It's not that deep.
And to top it up, which is my favorite, is gratitude.
Yeah.
Gratitude is so powerful. Wow, wow, wow. That's why I said this is a masterclass. Is oh wow. Thank you so much. You've given us
You're
so many
welcome.
tips. It's an episode that people have to go back. They are gonna have to go back to. Even I have to go back to because you shared so many points. But I think I want to say thank you, especially because you shared, not hiding some things, but being vulnerable and sharing practical tips. Wow, wow, wow. We've got more than burnout. We've gotten burnout, we've gotten how to avoid it, we've gotten signs to look out for, we've we've gotten tips, for moms, for oh wow, you've shared a lot. Thank you so much. I am
You're
most grateful.
welcome.
Thank you so much
You're
for making
welcome.
this a phenomenal episode. And I'm looking forward to I'll have to bring you back again. this was
That's
this
not
was
a
so good.
problem.
This was so good. Thank you so much. I'm
You're
most
very
grateful.
welcome.
Thank you so much. So
You're
everyone,
welcome.
I will see you next week. For now, it's bye from us. Bye everyone. Bye.